Count me down.
And we are back. And helping with host duties and commentary, Mash is back. So, Mash, I'll let you take over now.
Okay, thank you very much, Taraj. Hello, I'm Mash the Stampede. I'm going to be helping out with commentary and donos. Welcome back to MAGFest 2022. Right now, we got an amazing run coming up that is for Startropics 2 Zoda's Revenge with our runner, TheTantalus. Tantalus, you want to take it away?
Sure thing. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Good to see familiar friends in the chat as well. I can see you right here. You're hanging out with me right here on the screen. Of course, you can't see it on your own screen. You have your own chat you can look at. But we're going to go ahead and get started because there's plenty of time to talk. So ready with the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
That's right, and we already have a dono.
Sweet. Mash, what do you know about Startropics 2?
I know that there is stars involved, and Zoda's going to be getting his revenge.
I have bad news. Zoda's not going to get his revenge.
He's not getting his revenge?
No, he's not. And in fact, he's not even going to get a chance at revenge. And I'll explain why much later. That'll be the very end of the run. We're not even going to give Zoda a chance to enact his revenge. So this is Startropics 2. It's a sequel to Startropics, obviously. It doesn't have too much to do with stars. There's a star in the game, but we'll cover that when it's time. It doesn't have too much to do with stars, but it does have a little bit to do with this fellow here on the screen. That's Dr. Jones. We rescued him in the last game, and he sent us after an alien race by ourselves with a yo-yo, and we beat him somehow. And so now we're still alive, and as it turns out, he knew that there was something more to it. And as it turns out, we found a time-traveling book, and we're time-traveling back in time, all the way into the past. And this game, released in 1994, was the last unique NES game released by Nintendo. I believe Tetris 2 and Wario Woods came out after this game, but they were both co-released on the NES and the SNES. So, this is the last unique title Nintendo made for the NES, and it's also the last Startropics game they made. So, there's a little short history lesson, Mash. Now, what we're going to do right here, you see me walking a very particular way. There's hidden pitfalls on the map there in the snowfield that you can fall. 2 or 3 minute time sink if you fall in one of those dungeons. We don't want to do that, so we just skip right over that. Now, as you can see, here's a village of cavemen who are self-aware that they are cavemen. I do not know why they are self-aware they are cavemen, but we cavemen just say thank you. They're self-aware of that fact. Do not know why, but we move on. That's the only one we actually have to talk to. If you've ever played the first Startropics, you'll know that a lot of times in these villages you have to talk to many, if not all, of the characters to proceed. That's not the case in this game. There's only one area where we have to really kind of do that. For the most part, you just talk to the key point of interest to move on. Now, we spent the last game trying to avoid touching water. As everyone knows, Mike can't swim, so if Mike falls in water, then he's going to have some trouble. So we don't want to fall in any water. That's bad. But I've got great news. In the time between these two games, Mike actually learned how to walk on water. Ready for this, Mash?
That's very cool. I like the platforming here. Even though it kind of gave me like Zelda 2 vibes at first, you are actually jumping, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so this game introduced the diagonal movement. As you can see, Startropics was very grid-based. This one still looks like it's grid-based, but oh no, that was an accident. I actually start right here, so this is just fine. That's what I get for talking. No big deal. So this area, what I was going to say is this area is kind of designed to teach you how to do the diagonal jumping, and that's what they put it there for. So we do. Of course, I messed up one of the easiest things to do in the game, but that's okay.
And yes, if we have time for a quick donation.
We do.
Okay. We have a $20 donation from Nintendo Natalie saying, "Good luck, Tantalus."
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much for that donation.
All right, so this puzzle here was you were meant to look at the cave wall in the village, but we didn't choose to. It's the same puzzle every time. Again, another aspect that Startropics 2 has that the first one doesn't. The first one, to solve most of the puzzles like this, usually you had to do some kind of trigger to get the game to solve the puzzle. In this game, we don't have to do that. We can just solve the puzzles if we know the answers. Alright, coming up with the first boss, this is Yum Yum. He's very hungry, so we're going to let him snack, and we're going to murder him while he eats his snack. So he's going to have his final meal. I hope it was good, because now he's dead. And that's it.
He's very committed to that snack.
That was a good snack. Are there tropics? There's no tropics, I'm afraid. In this game, there's no tropics. The first game was all about the tropics. This game has very little tropics. I'm going to go for a frame perfect glitch here. I'm going to try and trigger a text box on top of a text box. And we got it. That is frame perfect. Might be 2 frames, but basically, if you press select on the world map, it triggers a dialog box that says what chapter you're in. And by doing that on the same frame the village dialogue triggers, you can move out of their way so that they trigger their walk-off sequence before they're done talking to you. So that saves about 2 seconds. We got it. That kind of makes up for that death. Alright, and that's the end of the first chapter. Now we found a block. That block looks like something we may have seen before. The tetrads. Interesting. So this is Micah, by the way. She's one of the aliens we saved in the last game, and she can telepathically communicate with Mike through time. And that's a very broken power-up, by the way. And, by the way, these manifest in real life. We've got our first tetrad right here. So we'll just, we'll put it in our inventory right there, over there. And we'll continue to move on here. So we've found 1 tetrad. By the way, that got changed in the Virtual Console version. That just says block. So they kind of had this Tetris thing going on back in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s for Nintendo. Nintendo doesn't really own Tetris anymore. They can't really do that, so. True ARG, yes. We've truly manifested the tetrads here. So, where do you think we are now, Mash? Where do you think we've traveled to?
I would say some kind of desert with structures.
That's a good start. It's a good start.
It's a good start.
Yep. It appears to be Egypt. Mike believes it's Egypt. And we're going to go visit this ship right here. This is the one area where we do have to talk to a variety of the villagers. We don't have to talk to all of them, but it's very quick. They're all right here, so it's not a big deal at all. Some of the villages in the first Startropics take you 2 to 3 minutes just to get through them, just because you have to talk to so many people. So Queen Cleopatra's over there. She won't let you come near. You have to stand at a distance and speak with her, and she says, if you can bring me my pizza that I ordered from the most famous delivery outlet in history, then I will let you use my ship to cross the Nile. So that
sounds like historically accurate.
Yes. Yes, very historically accurate. This game is incredibly historically accurate, as you'll find many real-life figures as we continue through the stages here. So this is the first dungeon of this world, Chapter 3. Chapter 3 is not the hellhole that the first game has it. The first game, Chapter 3, there's 5 dungeons, it's really long, it's brutal, it's grueling. That's Chapter 5 in this game. We'll get to that when we get there. There are some skips we're going to try and do, though. This game actually does have a variety of glitches. You've already seen one, which is the Void Walk, and I thought I fired 3, but I didn't. And we're going to try to do another one in just a moment. So those are the bandits. They're actually the exact same enemies as the gold bears from the last level. They're just reskinned. They do the exact same functions, exact same health. Alright, so coming up is we're going to try to do a wall push. It's a pretty difficult glitch to do, but I've gotten pretty good at it. Now that I've said that, I'm sure I'll mess it up, but we'll try.
Here's hoping.
There we go. So basically, when Mike walks against a wall, because, like I told you before, this game is tile-based, but it doesn't look like it's tile-based, or it doesn't act like it's tile-based, but it is. So when Mike walks against a square like that, and he's kind of on the edge of it, the game will just push him through. And I got a really good pattern, and I messed it up. That's okay. 3 hits left? 4, 5. Oh, that was a lot more than that. Okay. So that's what happened in that wall. We pushed up against the wall. The game pushes us out, and then that is what lets us to jump over 2 tiles without too much trouble. So, boo, Chapter 3, Dark Prime Mist says. I assume you're talking about the first Chapter 3. Now, what's my health at? Okay. So the next bug we're going to try and do, and I've never got this in a marathon, so pray for me. We're going to try and get a wrong warp exit in the next dungeon. So there's two cases of this that you can do in RTA. I don't think there's any other spots that are even Tazable to do it. But I'm proud to say that many of the things that we thought were previously Taz only, we can do them in a real run now, thanks to extensive research by Fulco, who's kind of our native Startropics frame data expert. He's come up with a lot of strategies to make things that we thought basically were impossible very, very achievable. And I love the cause, love Child's Play charity. What are we at, MASH, on a donation perspective? Did we hit 8K yet?
Okay, we are currently sitting at $7,698.00. That is out of our current $8,500 goal. Of course, if you guys wanted to contribute to that, it's all going to Child's Play charity, and you can do !donate in the chat for that link, and we will of course read them on the stream.
I know my boy Rex was running the other day in person. And that run was awesome. The crowd was really into that, and he raised a lot of money. And I'd like to get us to 8,000 before this run is over. So, anybody has a few bucks to spare, it's a great cause. And we're gonna work hard to try and get to that 8,000 mark. If we get to the 8,000 mark, I don't know what I listed as potential, like skip the final boss or not. But if we get to 8,000, I'll let the chat choose. I'll let the chat choose if we fight the final boss or not.
Ooh. There you go, folks. You got your incentive. I believe it can happen.
Right now, I'm going to skip it. By default, I'm going to skip it. But if chat wants me to fight him, then I'll fight him. I have not fought the final boss in this game in a long time. Spoiler alert.
So now, what got you into speedrunning this?
So, I started... I've always had Startropics since I was a little kid. I had both Startropics themes. And I'll get back to that because I'm going to try this wrong warp in a second. So, what we're going to try and do, we're going to try to walk on water twice with this duck. I need a little bit of cooperation from the duck. Let's see if we get the cooperation. We do. This is 1. Ugh, I messed it up. I wasn't holding all the way right over. That's okay. I can try it again, which is what I will do. The first one's easy, but the second one is always the one that you struggle with. Okay, there we go. So we're going to walk out of bounds here. This is very careful because you're not supposed to be here, and the game does weird stuff. By holding certain inputs, we can get a wrong warp exit of the stage. I don't have time to explain how that works. It's a lot. But there it is. We did successfully get the wrong warp. That's very difficult to do. And the first time I've gotten it in a marathon, so glad I was able to show that off. So, how did I get into Startropics? I've always had it as a kid, and it was something that I was always interested in speedrunning, and I became a fan of GDQ like really early on. and I was like, man, this is one of the coolest things ever. And I was like, man, I really need to try speedrunning. And I started speedrunning with the first Startropics. And I never thought I would like speedrunning this game, in fact. I was more focused on initially trying to get the world record in the first Startropics. Never got that, but I got a good time. I was second on the leaderboard for a little while, and then some other folks came along who were just immensely more talented than I am, and they've done amazing things with the first one. And I did achieve my goals in the first Startropics, but it's a very difficult game, and it's grueling because most of the bosses are all RNG, and that's really where the time save comes from once you're good enough, because most of the rooms are down to a math problem science. Now, I had rudimentary speedrunning experience with this game until last year. And when I achieved my goals with the first Startropics, I was like, you know, I want to do the second Startropics. Why not? And I was not very good at it, actually. So that might surprise you now looking at the leaderboards, but I was not very good at it. I was struggling with a lot of the tricks and things. And then I was like, I wanted to put some time into it. And I was like, you know what would be cool? If I know there's a way to skip the final boss, but I didn't know how to do it. And so we ended up, I ended up accidentally finding one piece of the puzzle to how to solve the void walk we needed, the final boss, and then we put some research into it, and Fulco came up with a way to make it work, and now the final boss skip became possible, and that completely changed the run. That broke the game wide open in the past year, and so I've been really dedicated to it, and even though I was able to do the skip and improve my time a lot by doing that, I spent the next couple months just honing my skills, and now I am the world record holder of this game.
Very cool. Yeah.
So,
and mechanically, how similar are is this to the first game?
they're really, like, alright, mechanically, the buffering system is identical. So if you ever played Smash, you know what buffering is, which you input a button and it'll action the input on the first actionable frame from your button press. So we do that a lot here in this game. That's how we get through dialogue boxes and buffered inputs on enemies and things like that. But the fact that there's heights, like you can see there's platforms, and you'll see that in a minute, where you can jump at a different height level, and the diagonal movement, that's all unique to this game. So also the enemies are a lot more less static in this game. The patterns are kind of whatever they want to be, rather than the first Startropics, where the enemies are kind of just pretty static. They do the same thing every time. As long as you do the room the same way each time, you'll always get the same result. That's very rarely the case here.
Ah, so it's not so that probably affects the consistency in speedruns.
Yes, it does.
We also have a donation, if
Go
you have
ahead.
a moment. Yes, Demo has given us a $20 donation, saying, Mike Jones for Smash when?
I've given up my hopes on that. Mike Jones, even though he's a Nintendo first-party IP, I don't have any hopes for it.
Could still happen.
Ooh, that was close. Okay. So, by the way, the story so far, Cleopatra told us the Tetris piece we're looking for is in this pyramid. We had to go up to the forest first, because we didn't have this, which is the Psychic Shockwave. We couldn't have got past the barrier in the pyramid there. So now that we have it, the game teaches us how to use it in this level by making certain enemies vulnerable to just this Psychic Shockwave versus my dagger, which I have here. And we'll alternate using those weapons when we see fit, because that Psychic Shockwave upgrades much like the weapon did in the first Startropics game. It's health based, but right now there's no upgrade for it, so we just get it the way it is. Wow, got through there without damage. That's pretty good. Okay, so flash warning. If you guys are sensitive to light, you're going to cover your eyes in about 3 seconds. And we're good. don't know why that's going to happen a couple more times, and I should be able to give you warnings when that happens. I don't know why they decided to do that, but... Do a little block hopping there. That was close. And we're on to the boss. This is Monster Mask. I hope he gives us a good pattern. Nope, did not. Okay, that was okay. Taking damage there is much worse. This is a good time to point that out, too. At the end of each chapter, as we're about to come up in the end of Chapter 3 here, the game refills your health. So it's not just how well you play through a dungeon, but how much health you have coming out of it, because each heart is 1 second of refill time. So the longer the game goes on, the more hearts you have, the longer that can take. So there we go. They want to know if you have any relation to the Monster Mash. Also, here's our other Tetris piece. It seems to have manifested itself. So here we go. Now I have 2 Tetris pieces.
I can just say I enjoyed the Misfits cover of Monster Mash. It's a fun song.
Well, that's funny because there is another Monster Mashers coming up in a little while. We'll get to him though when it's time. All right,
Nice.
So we're back to another very historic place. Mike believes it's London, and this very real historical figure, known as Sherlock Holmes, I believe, or Sherlock Holmes. Sorry, too much Phoenix Wright. There we go. So he's deduced that Zoda X is going to steal the Tetris block from the museum. To which I say, Mike, why didn't you just time warp back a few more minutes? You have a time book. You can just, I don't know. And pet the dog. Let's pet the dog. Bow wow, woof woof. There you go. Pet the dog for good measure. Oh, this guy's going to throw us in jail, but there's a hole in the wall, so we're fine. You actually can't proceed throughout the game without getting thrown in jail. The game doesn't allow you to proceed. You have to get thrown in jail. So Mike's officially a criminal. Good thing he's not staying in this time period.
Ian, do we have time for another donation?
We do.
Okay. Papaya Chunks, who was actually speedrunning, I believe 2 days ago, donated $20, saying, super excited to see my favorite TheTantalus run Startropics 2. Thank you very much for your donation. That brings us closer to the $8,500 goal. And at $8,000, as a reminder, TheTantalus will also be not skipping the final boss as well. So thank you very much.
I was going to give them the option. If they want it, I'll do it. But if they all want to see the skip, I'll give them the skip. I'll let the chat
That's
choose.
right. Chat decides.
Yes. Thanks, Rex. Appreciate that. Sorry I couldn't be there this weekend. The weather and everything else going on in the world right now, it's made it difficult. That was another wall push, by the way. It's a lot easier than the first one we did, so didn't really detail too much, but we can just jump right up there, kind of cheating. I'm going to do some alternating weapons right here. It's just a little bit faster to kill these mice by switching onesie-twosie here, like this. We'll jump over this one. And that's a little bit what I mean by the enemies are less static. They can kind of do anything, so you got to react to what they do. Well handled there. I'm going to try to handle our friends the owls. No problem. Okay, so this is I don't know what, Zoda's brain, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Take 16 hits to take it down. It's an instant KO if you touch it, so you can't just jump on that block with iframes and get out of there. There's no way to do it. The iframes, that's a big change to this scheme. is the iframes are very minimal. I wonder if it's just for that boss that they made it that way. You get like, I don't know if it's 4 or 5 frames of iframes, and then that's it. You can get decimated very quickly.
I gotta say, it did look pretty satisfying to beat that boss.
It's a tight rhythm. Alright, this is one of the few cases where we're going to get sub-weapons and actually use them in this game. In the first Startropics, we pretty much use every sub-weapon in the game, in the speedrun. Not the case here, but we are going to use these. These are the discs. I really don't know what they're called beyond the discs, I'm going to be honest with you. But they're very powerful, and we're going to use them all up. And welcome everybody in chat. See Zero Counts is in chat. Hello. Zero Counts helped commentate this on a previous run that I've done. Had a lot of commentators for this game. Oops. Well, that's a bad mistake. Handled the jellies just fine. Fall through the floor. Got a mice problem here we're gonna take care of. 1, 2, 3. Alright, you want to have some disc left, but that's not a big problem. You can move while you jump in this game, whereas you couldn't really do that in Startropics. So that little jump over the shot while I'm throwing weapons that's the only way you can move and attack at the same time. And we do use that. The move and attack at the same time with buffered inputs to do some of our strats. Chapter 4 is only one with no major skip though. We did have that little wall push at the beginning of the first level, but I would say this is the most consistent chapter of the whole game. As long as you have it down pat, it's pretty routine to go through here without too much trouble. Yeah, the rafts are goofy. You can walk right off the rafts. They don't have like a blockage. Like normally if you walk on a platform. Am I fine? No, I took the damage. I took damage the same frame I entered the room. That's unfortunate. Alright, so this is gonna be right here. So we're gonna try and that's the bad pattern. We wanted him to throw up a firewall, but he didn't do that. And then he hit me, so makes this rather slow. Yeah, just the worst possible pattern there. You didn't throw up his firewall attack, so we can take him out one cycle if we do that, but otherwise you can get it in 2 if you don't get hit, or it's 3, just like I did there. So. What is my Bug Doctor emote I can flex? I don't know. You pick one. You pick one there. Dark Car Mist. Good to see you as well. Boom, 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 boom. Basecamp Boster, how's it going? Oh, we got another one. Hold on. I gotta wait for the health refill there. And you can see as you get more health, how much it does. So there it is. We got our third Tetris piece manifested here. So there we are. We have it. We now have 3 of them. Anyone want to take a guess how many chapters are in the game based off how many Tetris pieces there are? Any guessers in the chat? Mash?
I would say 6.
I think how many? No, there's 7. There's 7 Tetris pieces.
Ah, 7 Tetris pieces. Okay.
There's 7 Tetris pieces.
I should.
Well, we didn't get one in the first chapter. The first chapter was just a dialogue box, actually. Kind of like more like a prologue. They originally called that the prologue, and made chapter 2 chapter 1, but I can't change that now. They already messed that up. There you go. Picture perfect. Flex the tanning. I appreciate that. So it's 8 chapters? We'll see.
It was a bit of a trick question there.
Perhaps.
First chapter doesn't count.
This is the village elder. He gives us a hint to where the Tetris piece will be. It just so happens that we can always just talk to someone who's happened to know where a Tetris block is. And every timeline, you just appear and somebody will know where that Tetris piece is. No problemo. But he told us we need to blast the wall, so he told us to come talk to our friend Bob. And Bob likes explosives, so he's like, here, you know what? If you just come bring me back some gold, we'll call it even. But I'm not gonna bring Bob back any gold. Sorry, Bob. I'm just gonna blow a hole in the wall. There's a little cactus dance. There's a way to solve this riddle. And it's very confusing initially because it doesn't give you the perspective of how you face it, but it's correct. The way to solve the cactus, there's a dance in the saloon that the characters do to tell you how to find your way to this spot. Or you could just remember where it is. And here we are. The first one is islands and caves. This one did spice up the variety by using the timeline thing. And I'll be the first to tell you, I don't like time travel stories, but this is one of my favorite games. So. Oh, we'll get in there. All right, we're safe. Okay. These are boulders. We'll have to jump around these. I don't feel like jumping over. That's the fast way to jump around them. You're supposed to jump around the platforms, but I don't have time for that. These are cactus rockies. They explode when they're defeated, obviously. And we're gonna try to skip this boss coming up. It's a very, very difficult skip, and I might die. But we'll see. That was a really good pattern. I have to do a little setup in this room though, so bear with me. I don't think I've got it right. Okay, we're just gonna give up. That was very bad. I've actually never seen both of them do what they did there, so. I can only get one cool skip per run. I can't do both the pond wrong warp and this boss skip in the same run. That almost never happens. And that's true. Even the world record does not have both of those skips. So, unfortunate that we couldn't demo that skip because I like that skip. Basically, what we're supposed to do is we set it up. This is a good time to explain how this works. The way that you could walk on the water at all is because the game, if you get hit on the same frame you touch the void or the water, the game won't register you as dying. I think the way they knew that about the game, so the way they combat that is to have the game not check every frame to see if you're on the void or taking damage, I should say. So what happens is we have to take damage on purpose to set our damage frame so that we know we can set up the timing right to have the boss bump into the boss's rock that it's carrying, and then we can walk over. We've taken quite a bit of damage as well. This is not good. Whew, that was lucky. I was hoping one of the cactuses would move, but they did not give me a good pattern. Alright, now so we got an upgraded weapon, the Super Psychic Shockwave, which we put to good use right here, just like that. This Super Psychic Shockwave is immensely more powerful than the previous iteration. It's about as powerful as the dagger weapon. Oh, that was bad. It was very bad damage to take. But it also can blow up rocks, as you can see like that. I don't know why it can blow up rocks, but it can. This is the minecart sub-boss, and he never cooperates with me when I want him to. Damage list is just good, but not a good pattern. I try to do a setup there where I can get on the same frame as him, where I can hit him, but he can't touch me, and it's a quirky setup, but it depends on the RNG. One of the more RNG, rage-inducing bosses. There's no consistent setup for that boss. He's basically as tough as a real boss. Actually, I can't do a damage boost here, so I gotta get that snake to move out of the way, which I did. I just face the snake and he'll charge me. Because I need to pick up these hearts. If I was full health, I would just damage with the snakes and then run through here and pick up the hearts on the way. Alright, here's Monster Masher. He's mashing. Here's that star we mentioned. It is like a Mario star. Gives us invincibility. And we have the choice to use this on the mini boss or this boss. I like to use it on him just because those boulders running around make it... They block your shots, so they're real difficult. I like to get them, not have to worry about them. It's always been up in the air which one's better to use it on, but that's been my methodology. So what do you think so far, Mash?
It's actually really cool. I'm pretty sure I saw this on one of the Nintendo Switch Online catalogs, and you know, there's just so many games on there.
The first game is on Nintendo Switch Online. This one's not. Yeah. But it is on the Wii U and Wii Virtual Console, which I think you could still buy Wii U Virtual Console games. So if you wanted to play it, it still is accessible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could still on the Wii U, but this is actually making me want to pick it up because it just has a lot of cool platforming to it. It looks like even as a casual game, it would still be really fun.
It's very fun, and it's not as brutal as the first game casually, because the first game casually is meant to be brutal on purpose. They walk you into rooms that instantly kill you, and wrong exits to dungeons on purpose, fake you out. It's meant to psych you out a little bit. The first game. This game doesn't really do that. It does have wrong ways to go, but yeah, it's pretty well on the trail. Like if you need a potion for health, it's kind of right when you need one. They tend to have everything pretty well worked out.
Thematically, it's also kind of reminding me of Bill and Ted a little bit. I might be wrong on that, but...
Well, it's about that same era, so 1994.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Alright, so this is the Orb Dungeon. Got a very famous figure in that statue. First, we're going to try and do a little skip here. There you go. Another void walk there. The attacks there are... Ooh, what? Are to avoid getting hit right there, but I got hit, so I did something wrong. I've never gotten hit before doing that. Something went wrong. I'm not sure. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Not a big deal. And this dungeon's all about platforming. See, there's lots of traps. It's known as Da Vinci's Basement. Spoilers. It's using the statue. Alright, and then we have the orb puzzles. You gotta get all the orbs in the hole, and this, if you don't know how to do this quickly, this is like a... There you go. That was almost perfect. It was very close to perfect. That can take 2 or 3 minutes if you're not careful. That is a grueling area. The first time you play that, you'll probably spend 5 minutes in the second room, just like, how the hell do I get these balls in the right spot? But orb, that was pretty good. Chapter 6 is fairly quiet. It's kind of the chapter 4 of this game. The first game had chapter 4, which is just like a overworld maze in a whale. Yeah, you get eaten by a whale. Listen. Don't worry about the story. It doesn't have to make sense. Oh, I didn't put my Tetris piece up. Oh, yeah. It did manifest. Here it is. There you go. So we have 4 now. We've got to get to the Tetrad. Mike already knows Da Vinci on a first-name basis, calling him Leo. Again, the story doesn't have to make sense. I think we all can accept that, right? How many times can Princess Peach get captured, really? I think we all know that we have to suspend our disbelief at this point. So there's a flying machine that he had invented here, and as it turns out, we're gonna have a brief conversation with Micah here telepathically. I can sense that you're flying. You can. What else can your telepathic powers do? Why can't you just telepathically teach me where the Tetris pieces are? I don't know. Anyway, she warns Mike that Zoda came to see Island and hypnotized Dr. J, which I thought he was in Seattle. I don't know, but they know how to time travel now, is what she's warning me, and they're gonna come after me. I'm sure that'll go just swimmingly. Oh yeah, Da Vinci gives us the katana. Thanks, your account. Yes, Da Vinci does give us the katana, which is the most powerful weapon in the game from a damage perspective, but DPS-wise, it is not. And we'll continue to use our weapons in a very specific and intentional fashion, alternating between them. So this dungeon is another one of the mazes, like the snowfield, where there's holes all over the place, so you can fall in random mini dungeons. You actually only have to do 2 of them, and this is one of them. And this is randomly generated. And this is the one I see the least. Until recently, all of my practice runs have gotten this variation. There's 4 variations you can get of that dungeon. There's 3 are very fast, and 1 is very... Ooh, I forgot which way it's supposed to go there. There we go. Don't want to walk in a hole in accident. And this one is the same dungeon every time, so this one's consistent.
And DPS-wise, what would you say is the best weapon in this game? Highest damage?
We haven't unlocked it yet, but it is the Ultra Psychic Shockwave, which we will get for the last 2 levels. We only get to have it for 2 stages. Very intentional walking there. And we got another, and there's another flash warning coming up here in just a moment. So there's going to be 2 of them actually. So if you are sensitive to light, you will not want to look at the screen for the next 30 seconds. And here's our Tetris piece manifested. There's one flash. There's another flash coming up. It's not over yet. So Zoda has intercepted us in time. More flashing. There's more flashing after this. Hold on. He's like, I'm not going to send a henchman anymore. I'm going to send you into my own Transylvanian hell myself, and I'll deal with you personally. The villain's done playing with me now. So he's taken over the time traveling, and the flashing is done, by the way. Thank you. Sorry for the all of that. The game threw all that in there. Alright, so we're going to look around. The overworld is pretty much dead at this point. We do very little overworlding anymore. So it's pretty much action non-stop from now to the end of the game. So, which is about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so. It's really cool. There's 4 dungeons left. This is one of the longer dungeons. Go ahead, Mash.
I was going to say, it's maybe one of the last chances to get a donation coming up soon. About 20 minutes left. So. Exclamation mark donate in the chat. All goes to Child's Play.
These are the pants enemies. They turn into pants when you hit them. And then they run around like crazy. We don't like pants. We make the pants disappear. Last time we had to fight them though. Here's the ghost. We have to hit that pink one. The other ones are invulnerable. Here's some enemies we're familiar with. And we take care of them fairly easily. This is the Rip Ghost. And it takes 6 hits with the katana. And he was a little stinker. That's alright though. And here we go. We're going in here.
Daddy?
Scotty, I am alive on the internet. You gotta shut that door, buddy. Kids. Gotta love them. Alright. Here we go. I'm gonna go for a skip right here. There we go. Jumped over using the enemy to boost there. That's a very risky skip for not much save. It saves about 2 seconds. It's not all that helpful, but it's not too hard to do, so I usually go for it. Alright, another orb enemy here. They're going to drop orbs, and they like their orbs.
Would you say that they're pondering their orbs?
They could be pondering, yes. But that's the last time we'll see that enemy. The bats, these bats are in the first Startropics game, but they got way tougher. They leveled up between games. This enemy is called Frankenstein's Bride, by the way. Why that is, I couldn't tell you. But I guess there's many of them, so I'm not sure why they're called Frankenstein's Bride, but sure. That's what they're called. They're kind of annoying. We'll fight them one more time, too.
You said that now we're in Transylvania, right?
Yes.
Okay. It's starting to give me a lot of Dracula vibes.
Oh, yes. It's definitely meant to give you the Dracula vibes. Oh, missed the 2 cycle. That is unfortunate. Too many bats are in the way. I think I need 1 hit. Yeah. Alright, so he's going to turn into this, whatever you call this, eagle, owl, bat thing. I don't know. And he's going to shoot bats at me. And we're actually going to use this attack against him to keep him in hit stun. You can probably hear me jamming on the thumb buttons there. And there's a little faster strat I can use to jump on that block while it's appearing after the boss is defeated. But we're not going to take a risk like that to save 1/10 of a second in a marathon run. Alright. No, we are not going to encounter Simon Belmont. We're not in that timeline. We got our Tetrad. And we've got full health. There it is. Joins the ranks. 1 Tetrad remains. Byman Selmont. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we ran to Byman. That's my old friend. They should have made a whip a power-up in that level. That would have been cool. Missed opportunity, Nintendo. You could fix it by making another Startropics game. You know. Alright, Chapter 8. There were some Chapter 8ers in the chat. So this will be it. This is the end. We get our last Tetris piece here.
Just don't stack them together, because they might disappear.
Yeah, they could. They could. Well, there's a way to put them together, but we'll have to wait to the end to find out what the solution is. Alright, so we've entered medieval times. There's a castle on the hill. And look who it is. We can just walk right up, get an audience with old King Arthur here. And the King of the Britons, he says. And I can't handle this dragon, so you take down this dragon for me. This could give us a little extra health to make it easier. 1 more heart. And knights us to the round table, in a jean jacket and with a katana. He's like, yeah, you know what, you got this. Fight bravely for our kingdom. I feel like you all are much more well-equipped. But Mike's used to this, right? He beat aliens with the yo-yo. He can handle a dragon with a katana. I think the odds are better here. Alright, so these blobs are gonna... When they die, I'm gonna fall through the floor. So we want to be right there. Otherwise you fall off the ledge, and then you have to do that whole room again. So, it's annoying. Here's another Frankenstein's Bride, and... This is terrible. I couldn't have gotten worse luck here. There we go. Same thing. You have to be in the right spot there. You also don't want to fall on the spikes. But if he goes too far down, you can't hit him. So there's not much you can do about that if that occurs. You just have to deal with it. Every time I de-rust this game, I have to remember which ones are which order. So you have to go down this time and then up. And because I'm full health, I can damage boost this one. Alright, upcoming is the Knight Rider. He's just the waste your time boss, as you'll see. Yeah, just a big waste of time. I don't know who he was shooting at, but he missed. So he's just a slow the game down boss, but fortunately we handled him fairly quickly. And we move on.
He has the aim of a stormtrooper.
Mm-hmm, yeah. We should just call him the Stormtrooper, actually. I wonder if he has any holy hand grenades. You gotta chuckle out of me. Oh, look at this. The animal that's been helping us this whole time has been Merlin the Magician. He also can time travel. He also had a friend who was named Huracan, who was an alien who stored his essence in Tetris pieces. And now you need to go retrieve the last piece. The big story twist. And and he upgrades us to the Ultra Psychic Shockwave. Which, DPS-wise, is the best, strongest weapon in the game. Because it goes full screen as well. Again, don't worry about the little details, everyone. Alright, this is 8-2. This is probably the hardest dungeon in the game. It has a lot of... there's no skips. Well, there is a skip. I should say, there is a skip, but it's almost impossible to do. Oh, miscounted there. I've never seen them do this. That is a weird pattern. Okay. It's probably because I messed up the timing on the first one. That's a Zodosaur, by the way. I don't know why they're named after Zoda, but they're called Zodosaurs, and they're mean. They shoot big projectiles. And the best music in the game is gone, sorry. That was a weird pattern, but I'll take it, I guess. No damage. Oh, that was unfortunate. This is the room you can do a skip in. This jump to where that barbed wire is actually a perfect distance to do a void walk, but again, you don't know what damage frame you're on. There's a couple ways to set that up, but it costs a lot of damage to do it, so it's not something that I've ever tried to incorporate in a run. It is doable, but very difficult and not usually worth it. Because you have to take, I think, 6 damage to do it. Alright, so this is like a lot like the Rip Ghost, this enemy. Kind of just walking directions. I would not expect them to walk in that direction. And they're kind of jerks. They really like to slow you down. Mystery switch room there. There's other switches that need you just some health and some things, but go and grab some health while we're here. This music's good too, but the first area's music is much better. Alright, now the dreaded double Gold Knight room. The only thing you can really try to do with these guys is get them between tiles and hit stun lock them like that so that they can take more damage before they change their direction on you, because they will very commonly go the direction Mike is.
I also love that you're constantly jumping away from projectiles as well, like right there at the last second before you got to the door.
Yes, that's the only way you can move and attack at the same time, so that we use that all the time. I will go ahead and grab this just in case we get in a pinch here. All right, here's the dragon boss. This makes my carpal tunnels hurt a lot. You have to jump and try and shoot 3 times before you land back down to the ground. And it's a very particular timing. You can see some of my shots are not connecting. Sometimes I'm not getting 3 off. Sometimes the third one's not hitting. Ooh, that was good. I'll take it. That's before the first row is filled up, so that was well handled. No damage too.
Nicely done.
Okay, and we're gonna go ahead and use that medicine because it gives us 2 hearts back. Cool guys don't look at explosions. That's right. We don't have time to look at explosions. All right, got him. The final Tetris piece is here. They've all been assembled. You try to put them all together, but nothing happens. What was that?
Now we can do a T-spin.
Now we can do a T-spin. We can. We can store one in the inventory as well. But what will we do? So, as it turns out, we've got all the pieces. Mike doesn't know how to put them together. And Micah telepathically says, "We're in trouble, come help." So one last time, we'll make the jump throughout space and time. And we're going to end up in a very familiar place from the very first Startropics game. Now, Mash, you've never played the first Startropics game, I presume?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a throwback to anyone who's played the first Startropics game. You'll know exactly what this is. Did you try T-spinning to establish superiority? We did not. I don't think T-spinning was invented in 1994. Actually, somebody could fact check me on that. I want to know now. Actually, now we can summon the Tetris dragon and make a wish. Yes, we have all 7 Tetris pieces. I'm going to talk to this villager on the left. This is very intentional. It affects the wrong warp at the end, so I need to do that. Where are we at donation-wise?
Yes, so donation-wise, we are still $262 away from letting chat decide, and currently we're sitting at $7,738.00. Once again, exclamation donate to a great cause for charity.
I got about 4 to 5 minutes left before I make that happen. If not, the skip is still pretty cool, so we'll do that. So this is a replay of most of the rooms in the first dungeon of the first Startropics game. There's a few that are omitted just because they probably didn't fit in the Startropics 2 formula that well. But and the first Startropics game is notorious for not having a lot of glitches. But there was one thing you could do, which was to skip the final boss, or skip the first boss. And so he's supposed to be dead because you killed him, but we skipped him, and we're gonna skip him again. So he never gets a chance to fight us. There's no revenge for anyone in this game. I know it's titled Zoda's Revenge, but because it's marathon, I'm just gonna pick that up. It doesn't hurt me. So yeah, we skip it in the first Startropics game, and we skip that boss in the second Startropics game. So he just has become the laughing stock of all the bosses. Okay, so now we're in this little gray area, and what this is going to be is just like the run before this one, Mega Man X4, we're going to have boss refights. Starting with Yum Yum, except there's no snack this time, so he's a little angrier. There we go. That's a Yum Yum cooked. We have all of our upgrades now, so some of these bosses will be trivial.
And Night the Dragon says that apparently the T-spin was introduced in the new Tetris in 1999.
There it is. So T-spinning did not exist yet. Mike could not have T-spun.
Mike could not have T-spun. We also have a donation whenever you have a moment.
Go for it.
Jim Jamburi says, Startropics 2 music is awesome. Donated $20. So thank you very much for that donation. And we also just came in a no comment donation from Johnny Go. also a runner at MAGFest, for $20. So thank you very much for that donation. We appreciate it. It's all going to Child's Play for charity.
Almost got a 1 cycle, even though you gave me the bad pattern. We got 2 bad patterns. It's bad spawning and it's bad attack. It's okay. We have made it work just fine. No damage so far. You don't refight every boss, as you can tell. You may have already figured that out, but we fight most of them. Alright, and we're coming up on the... Oh, I got a... That's frame perfect, and it's not exactly consistent to time it, where you don't get stunned in the jump. That was really good. This has been a superb Chapter 9 thus far, actually. Really good. Alright, and here's Zoda Y. This is where things are going to get a little bit unfamiliar. Normally, after this, you're going to fight the dragon and then fight the final boss, but we're not going to do that. See why in a moment. Alright, so we got over here, but what the heck does that do for us? He just shot his feathers really early that time. There we go. What does that do
That owl
for
is
us?
just eating your health.
Yeah, it's okay though. It puts us out of bounds for this fight, and doink! We're out of there. We're done fighting people. And that's the end. So, got one more glitch for you. Here's all our friends. They were captured by Zoda, and we're just going to take them with us. Here you go. I rescued you. And there it is. So get ready on time. That'll be when I talk to the chief. And that's time. Which is not bad at all. Now,
Very nice.
an hour and 52 seconds. That's very good. That would be second place, I think. All right, so the chief here, Tetris is his middle name, so he's going to help us put these together, everybody. All right, so let's give it a shot. All right, we got the first one. Okay. Okay, this one. Okay, got that one. Okay. Okay, can do that. Alright, it's getting a little tricky. Just put that one over here for now. Okay. Well, that's a little unstable. Chief. I can't make it happen, Chief. Rats! That's okay. We couldn't make it happen, but the chief could. Chief knew how to do it. We were so close. We were so close. Tetris. There it is. I deleted all the lines. They're gone. There we go. We saved HeroCon, and the day is saved, and Mike never goes on another adventure again. So this was the final Startropics game. Well, sorry about the flashing. I forgot the warning that time because I was chatting. But that's it. That's Startropics 2. What do you think, Mash?
It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was a really great time. And how would you say that was close to your PB?
That's almost 2 minutes off. But that's still a really good time because I think third place right now is 101.20. So like it's still a really good time. Just having the time I have. The third place time doesn't have that skip in it, so that's why the times are so close. But too bad my middle name isn't Tetris. Yeah. A year ago I got this time for the first time actually. Just about this exact time, and I've improved it 2 minutes since then. So that's crazy. So thank you all for the GGs in the chat. Hope you enjoyed the run. There's many more to come. I forget what's up next. Mash, what's up next?
Okay, yes. Coming up right after this, we have Baby Coyote. That is a full run by Studio. That's going to be coming up in just a little bit. So once again, thank you to TheTantalus for showing us that speedrun of Startropics 2, Zoda's Revenge. Okay. And yeah, we'll be right back after this. Don't forget, guys, !donate, !schedule for the rest of the schedule, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Thank you all so much for your support. See you soon.